So, welcome everyone to our Evolution Dialogues in the Diaspora. I'm here today with a friend and business partner. I want to have an opportunity for you to share about Rwanda, share about who you are, what you do, and we'll start from there.
Yeah, thank you so much, Carol, and it's so nice to talk with you. And good morning to you. I know it's an early morning to you, and thanks again for being that available in an early morning. For me, it's just like a late afternoon, and now 5 p.m. There's a beautiful sunset outside that I can see from the window where I'm sitting in the office. And yes, I'm saying that I'm glad that I'm here talking to you and sharing part of me and the country as well. My name is Francoise, as you mentioned. I work for Global Engagement Institute. We are trying actually to bring people from other countries to learn about beautiful things, to learn about culture, about people within those countries. And I'm really glad that myself being a Rwandan, but also sharing that part of my country is something that I really enjoy and like a lot. Because some people will say, I'm going to Africa. Then others will say, who haven't never been to Africa, they will say, oh, when is Africa? Oh, I'm going to Rwanda. When is Rwanda? Rwanda is just like a tiny country. They always tell me it's the size of Maryland. I have been to Maryland, but I didn't even search. Whoa, how's Maryland? Nation look like, or even the size, but it's a tiny country within East African part of Africa. And yes, I'm proud and happy to be around it.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, it certainly doesn't feel like Maryland. I'll say that. I mean, with just the vast landscapes and all the different types of climates and the rainforests and the mountains and the lakes and it's absolutely beautiful. And when we visited, we were so as soon as we got off the plane, we just felt this sense of peace, and everyone was warm and welcoming like yourself. And yeah, it was more, I think, because we weren't really even sure what to expect. It was even more delightful because of that. The art, I mean, I'm an artist and I loved just seeing the unique style of Rwandan art, just the way that people design. I mean, I think about the Azizi women and their baskets, and so intricate, and the craft and all of the heart that goes into making the artwork and the crafts that are actually usable. It's not just something that hangs on a wall. And the food, we had a lot of different types of food. My son said that his favorite was in the Zizi village. I would call that soul food. In America, Black Americans say soul food. And that's just the food that warms your heart, warms your soul. It's very grounding. And that was our experience of the women that we shared a meal with in Assisi. What do you think the perception of people is about Rwanda?
Well, I'll say first, even before I talk about perception, that how many people knows about Rwanda? It's just like a limited people. Yeah, it's not that many, though. People have read about history or probably who follows news around the world, because Rwanda is known. How can I describe it? And just use two words. Is known with the like two G's. When somebody has heard about the word Rwanda, we're like, oh, the country with genocide, where people were killed, where people killed each other. And the second G is about gorillas. The perception that people actually know about Rwanda, looking at what I just said, like at the history in general, some people, sometimes they will say, oh, people are still killing each other. Like, it's now 29 years after the genocide against Tutsi. Like, the one who was born that time, he or she's 29 years old. And like the majority of the people here, they're actually, let's say, under 35 years old, which means the youth. And people will say that why do still people think that there's still killing is going on? It's different. When you read about it, or when you hear about like a Western media, or how they are portraying the country, This is something that a lot of travelers have, I'll say, an impression that they get from the media, and they don't even take the time to kind of like think beyond like what the media is showing. Like those who believe that yes, genocide is no longer there, but they feel like we are still in a conflict. Because when the genocide happened, it's different from genocide from other countries. Because in Rwanda, it was Rwandans who killed Rwanda. Like the neighbor killed the neighbor. The spouse killed the spouse. This is unusual. It's really different. Then some people will feel like, how is it possible that people are living in the same country, though they killed each other? And I'll say that perception or impression they have about Rwandans, they feel like we're still in conflict, or probably we don't like each other, which is different. After, I'll say, now it's 29 years after the genocide, then you can imagine, let's say, the younger generation, they are educated about the history, they are educated about what happened in the country, why it happened, and also why they should, when we say like a never again should remain never again, then those people who are thinking like we are in a conflict, I believe that they need to see what's going on. For those who actually travel there in the region or in the country, I would say the impression they have or perception, it's good. When I say good, or probably I'll use the word wonderful, because being here in Rwanda, you feel different because from what you had in your mind, and then when you land in the country, you said it yourself. It's green everywhere. It's peaceful. There is the security everywhere. Today, some were jailed because of genocide crimes. Later, after serving their sentence, they are back in the communities. Yeah. They are living next to the genocide survivors. Boom, some of the family members were killed by the one who just finished their sentence. They feel like this is unbelievable. But yes, it is unbelievable, but it's working. And their impression, for them, they are like, yes, we really need to learn from these Rwandans. Even if you don't, when you are visiting, say you are taking a holiday, for you, we want you to to go back with something that from Rwanda you learned about people. But take time, meet people, talk with them. Just have your own impression based on what you see, instead of like what you have read before you come. Because even if you read it or you hear something about the leadership, people sometimes say it's political. Everything is political. Karen has been here before. She just shared her experience.
Yes. Thank you so much for that. You said something that I appreciate a lot, which was everything's political, but people are people, it's about how we create our communities. It's about how we bring ourselves back together. I liked so much hearing about and meeting people who had once been on opposite sides and are now living together, supporting each other. People being in prison for being perpetrators and then coming back into society and being forgiven and being welcomed and reintegrated. I mean, it's such a model of connection and resilience, and it's really something that a lot of us can learn from, whether it's even in our families where we're disconnected from people, or in our neighborhoods, or in our state or in our country. That division doesn't have to remain that way. Even thinking about the genocide, that was 29 years ago. People move forward, countries move forward, and Rwanda certainly has, and it shows. And I tell you, the streets are so beautiful.
I love that about being here as well. Yeah. Traveling in the region, or I've been to the US once, and when you see this like a green environment around, not only on the street within the cities, even in the rural area, it's something that really beautiful, and I value that, and that's when I feel like I'm really proud of Rwandan, because we care about the environment, and even if you care about it, then you think about your surroundings, because We love being clean. Who doesn't?
Right? Exactly.
That means the clean environment, yes. And actually, we do contribute to that. But we have what we call Muganda in my local language. I will call it a community service, which is actually compulsory for everybody as long as you are 18 years old. Then it's happening on every last Saturday of each month. And then everybody goes out where like a local leader has identified to be cleaned, then we clean our slate. Sometimes when it's not cleaning or there's nowhere to clean, then we also go like the area that looks a bit rural, close to where you are, or even people in the rural areas, because this is across the country. It's not only in the city. People are planting trees because they care about environment. We need fresh air. Who doesn't?
Right.
If you are not cleaning, if you are not planting trees, probably we are supporting an elderly person whom the house probably was destroyed by a natural disaster. I would say, the common effort that Rwandans put in to make our environment safe for us, and I would say like everybody's proud because we see how clean it is, and when you pass by, there's no trash. You feel like, okay, I'm proud because I was part of this.
Yes. Yes. And I love how you say you're not just cleaning the streets or your homes, you're cleaning the environment. Yes. It's such a direct way of responding to how do we continue to sustain ourselves. It's just as simple as one cleaning day a month or one planting day a month. So, yeah, we could all learn. I'll learn from that. Well, I thank you so much, Francoise. I would just ask one thing that you would say about why it's important for people to come and visit.
Mm. One thing, okay, that's difficult because there are many.
Yeah.
I will say, yeah, there are many, but if I can say one thing and then try to explain further on that, I will say how Rwandans, we are resilient people, and something that probably I didn't add, though you asked one, is related to myself being a woman because you are a lady as well, is how Rwanda is actually promoting women when they are looking at all the policies that are there to protect girls and women being promoted in leadership positions, being promoted in schools. They are encouraged to run businesses, to open their own business, various initiatives that are supporting them. This is something also impressive that I'm really think like proud.
I love hearing that because people often get the opposite impression of places outside of the Western world that women are oppressed and, everywhere. And that's not the case for Rwanda.
No.
Yeah.
Our parliament, we are represented at 64% within like our business and other sectors, health. Women are promoted in different ways.
Yes. Wonderful. Well, my dear, thank you so much for sharing all that you have. And hopefully people will be able to come and experience some of this wonderfulness firsthand and create their own stories.
Sometimes we do create our own story based on the experience. Let's say that you find yourself or a side of yourself that you didn't know when you are within another culture sometimes, because it's just like you're mindful, you're open-minded, you just want to learn. And at some point you discover that part of you that you didn't think you have. And this is really beautiful, I think, and that comes with how you are learning or you're taking that time to experience either the culture of another country or that conversation you have with people.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Until the next time, hoping to see you very soon when we return. And for folks who are interested in attending our upcoming trip in November, you can visit our website at r-evolution.life/upcoming trips. And we will see you soon.